Check, 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 check. There we are. Hey, what's up, everybody? I was just trying out my new Behringer. So yeah, I had to disconnect and reconnect things. I'm still in a limbo here. As you can see, I have a construction space behind me that we're building out. I built myself a temporary insulated space here set up, but still not permanent. And it happen, make it happen. Right now I'm finalizing the materials for this animation that I'm working on. Is a tincture and CBD hemp-based tea tincture for the band Sigur Rós. Brand name is Vona, V-O-N. Out. Finalizing the material work here, and and I've got a few projects to be working on today, so I'll be in and out of the stream. If it goes dead at some point, maybe I'll put on some music or just a filler. I've been getting crashes with Streamlabs every now and then, so if it randomly drops, I apologize, but for tuning in and saying hey. So I'm going deep in a material network here inside of Keyshot. I'm basically manually segmenting out layers of the labels in Photoshop and then applying them as different materials over here in this material manager. So you can kind of do this stuff automated within the properties panel over in the program, but I'm doing most of it manually. It'll kind of like auto-populate things if you choose it from the configuration panel. It'll auto-populate the nodes, and then you can come in and flip them all around. So that's kind of what but I got some production notes from one of the visual director, and I just gotta alter some of the stuff on the label here. So bear with me just shortly. I guess I'll put on a little drum beat. Got the electron samples over here, and it's pretty sweet. That on them. Coming through. Check, check. It seems like I'm gonna try to mute the microphone. Gotta go check out Focusrite. I don't know if the drums are coming through well or not. You can let me know in the chat. Yeah, I'm using Streamlabs OBS and allows me to stream to Facebook and Twitch at the same time. So Twitch is the best place to get interaction with me because it comes through right away and I can respond to it right away. I have to basically open up a Facebook. I just set this to share to my Flex Your Mind group on Facebook as well. If you're not yet a member, go check it out. Flex Your Mind. Bigger than that to search for. Add and all types of cool stuff in. Wacky content from the old internet. Figurable. Check, check, check. We're here in the main output. Check, check. Play. Monitor outs are working. Line outs are working. I feel like it's supposed to be getting the monitor out over here in this Focusrite USB. Yeah, I guess so, maybe. See if I can mute this. Check, check, check. Yeah, like I'm over here muting the input as far as I can tell, and it's still coming through. So not configuring it properly. That's at least for the monitor outs. Oh, I'm not even using those anyway, right? The lineouts here as my main right now. And I'm muting my voice. Check, check. Yeah, we don't want to hear that. Mute that. Can't hear that. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have the audio stream coming through from line 2 right now. Yeah, that's a bummer. Oh well, so yeah, bear with me. Swap it over. Sit tight. You guys have any questions for me in my production process? Just feel free to let me know. I'm breaking into Unreal Tournament, Unreal Engine lately because it's just so incredibly powerful and Pixel Mega Scans, Pixel Mega Scans is really really fun, really feature packed, and I'm gonna use some of those assets to maybe beef up a scene that I've been animating for quite a while. So get into that a little later today. Marijuana is not legalized in all states, but it is in the one that I'm in. So I try to smoke off camera. What this is. Thanks for jumping in the chat, guys. Say hey. Let me know you're here. I'm going to be working in Keyshot, Cinema 4D, and a few other programs today, maybe even some Blender. And as I was just saying, I'm getting into Unreal Engine, and I'm really excited to kind of break into it because I've got all the background knowledge for how to use it. I've been studying it for about a decade without really ever using it. So I know my way around and how to get started, and I'm just gonna basically try to get a couple basic game prototypes together because I make a lot of assets and I have a lot of assets and everything about authoring materials and particle effects, and game logic is kind of the one that I haven't gotten super deep into, but I know with blueprints and some of those other things that I can at least get started with something basic and maybe create something along the lines of a real-time visualizer. But I like the idea of creating a game, so even if it's like an abstract art game or something, I kind of want to do like a high contrast black and white something because that's my aesthetic, as you can see. Almost done here. Gonna close up my little. Boom. Yeah, I don't know how that comes in. Properties, filters. See, monitor off. Mono. Yeah, I'm really confused about how to properly route the Focusrite, but I'll get around to it eventually. Check, check, check. Turn this up a little bit. There we go. I was probably a little too quiet. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Getting too loud. I'm testing my levels on the Focusrite Scarlett here. Cool. So let's get back into it. Viewer. Hey, it's so funny. It doesn't tell me who that is, so I'm going to have to hop and start my own stream. So let's get back into it. There we go. Probably hear that. So funny. It doesn't tell me who that is, so. Oh, Michael, what's up, dude? There we go. I silenced myself over on the side screen. Did it do? See that fancy Can't see door. I should cover that up, shouldn't I? Yeah. I have this temporary doorway here, and my children keep pulling it down. And I'm not that great at keeping it up in the front. Does the job, though. Oh, man, it sounds like I have a visitor. Hello? Hello, hello? Do I have a... It is a visitor. Thought I was okay. What's up, baby? Come in. Are you gonna pull your iPad? Something? Odie needs to be a spider. I think she's...
Need to be Vampirina.
Well, you kind of already are Vampirina, but I think that Odie is sleeping right now. Right?
No, this not sleeping. The rain.
Oh, right now?
Not right now.
Well, why'd you bring the spider up here if you want Odie to be a spider?
Because I need to put Odie into a spider bag, and you need to come downstairs.
Okay. I have to come downstairs and put a spider on my 1-year-old, and then I will be back to do my work.
Okay. And you need to stay downstairs and me to my Vampirina costume because I have one blue glove on.
Wow. Are you gonna put the other one on? Is it downstairs? Well, we should go downstairs, huh? Oh, are we gonna go downstairs and check it out?
Then my costume.
Okay. Keep walking, please. I thought you were going downstairs, honey. Maya Rose, please walk downstairs. Okay, we're back. We got beer. A beer, not many beers. Everything in moderation, my friends. So, let's get this out of here. Yeah, she's ridiculous. Thank you for saying my daughter's cute. She's absolutely amazing. It's literally the most fun thing to be distracted by ever. I could never, ever be actually upset at her. It's really great. But productivity does suffer. I just need to get a lot more done at night. And the 1-year-old is extremely requiring at bedtime. Basically, like bedtime is like an hour and a half long thing where you begin to lay down and then they fight going to sleep for at least an hour usually. There's really no way around it, and you can't leave the room. You just have to keep asking them to go to bed, laying them down gently, being nice to them, giving them some water, giving them little pats, and being nice to them. And sometimes they beat me, and I'm trying my best to stay awake, and I just fall asleep because it takes an hour and a half to put them down, and by then I'm like, oh. So I need to find some way to get through an hour and a half bedtime without falling asleep myself, and then immediately get up and stay productive for the next 5, 6, 8 hours until they wake up. But it's pretty hard to do that. Your body pretty much asks you to go to bed like right away. So if you have any questions about the programs that I'm using or the techniques that I'm using or the projects that I'm working on, just reach out and let me know in the chat. Make sure you give me a follow on Twitch and, you know, share the stream if you want. It's not required. I'm super inconsistent right now. I'll just be dead honest for anybody that's like tuning in for the first time. I don't know if there's anybody that is tuning in for the first time. But I have a lot of intention to do a lot of great things, and I don't always get to follow through on all of them. And the more I add in things like children into that pile, it gets pretty rocky. So I intend to have regular live streams and then for them to be pretty entertaining and concise, and that's really not what this is. Right now it's like hanging out with me. It's like pandemic time. I'm still building out my studio. I'm in a temporary space right now, and I have a bunch of projects that I'm kind of wrapping up, and they require my attention. I figure people are into the stuff that I'm working on, so I'm showing it, but I can't wait to get into a lot more tutorial-based, focused stuff where I'm explicitly explaining how to do a specific thing instead of you just like voyeuristically watching me work. I'm sure both are valuable in their own way, but I definitely plan to have a lot of like specific tutorials. And I've been thinking about starting like a school. Basically, I don't know how to structure it yet. I've been coming up with all these different curriculum for kind of like a masterclass for VJing, a masterclass for 3D software development, animation, that kind of stuff. And as I write out the curriculum for this stuff and I create the structures, I see how valuable it is, and you know, it's going to be a lot of work for me to make it, and I want to get a lot of people into it and learn my way of thinking, because I kind of have no barriers to software technicality or like a project's, you know, like how will we do that? Like you can do anything, and you can intuitively figure out how to do it. And I want to teach people how to gain that confidence by seeing a bunch of case studies and also kind of having philosophy to go along with it. So I can teach that in like a little tutorial that I can sell online, but I kind of feel like you have to get in my zone and be like really in it for like, I don't even know, a month, 2 months, like minimum, but maybe even an actual full semester, multi-semester thing. And I feel like it's kind of a crash course in how to do what I do for anyone and everyone, and it's something that I feel like everybody needs to learn. You know, most people that I speak to, even at the higher level, they're not sure how I'm doing a lot of what I'm doing. And of course, there's a lot of value there. It's really valuable to have magician secrets and not reveal your secrets to people. But I really feel like a lot of the stuff that I know is like, it's open source. I mean, I learned it from open source, and I just want to help direct people to how to get on the curve and enter kind of becoming a generalist, if you will. Not everybody has to take what I teach like in that direction. But I think that learning how to expand yourself, you know, horizontally with what your offerings are, it can get you out of the running for a bunch of different stuff, but it puts you in the running for all of the good things. You know, when I was watching a recent talk by the Future, I think he was saying like, you know, if I see like a resume and it says the guy does these 20 different things, like I won't choose him to be my modeler because he clearly does all this stuff and he doesn't know what he wants to do. So why would I say like, yeah, I'll hire you for a modeling position when your portfolio is all over the place? And like ultimately that guy in the same talk is talking about how he pays those people garbage. He pays them what they think they're worth, not what he knows the work is worth. And by being a generalist and not a specialist, you completely remove yourself from the kind of like, I don't know my own value, because if you do all the different kind of work, you understand the value of each of the services, and then you get into more of an directorial producer type mode, but you still don't pass up the small work. So a lot of what I'm doing here is small work, and I could definitely pass this stuff down the line. I want to bring on some interns to 7 Studios, so if you guys are into this stuff, check it out, join up. It'd be cool. I'm supposed to be holding interviews for a paid position that I have here to help with kind of organizational stuff and putting out a lot of applications. I need somebody who's really, really good at kind of just clerical, filling out applications, looking at all the requirements, coming to me and telling me anything that they need that they don't have to be able to complete that application, and just sit there and do that for me for as long as you can swing it, you know, a couple hours a day. And yeah, paid job. Hit me up for that. And then separate of that, if you want to come in and kind of help me with the art side of things and learn some stuff and help with some of the lower level file preparation and things like that, you know, reach out. If you really want to get into this stuff, I'm looking for the help, and I'm gonna be taking on a couple interns over the next, once 2021 hits, it's time to go here, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get serious about business. So here we go. Gonna jump over into the old Photoshop. I think it keeps crashing. I'm not sure what the problem with that is. Photoshop. So if I can't get into Photoshop, then we're having a problem. Yeah, what's your deal? Yeah, it's still not open in task, but it's open. Not open, but it's open. See if we can get it to open this time. There we go. So they reached out and they let me know that this label that I have here, it doesn't have the pink along the edges. So I went to a little bit of an extent to make sure to include that with this one, but she said, yeah, no, that's not even part of it. So I've been putting the channel in the bump as well, and I just, not only is it clearly super low res, which I asked them to send me the high res files, which I'm about to fix. But it doesn't need to have a bump, I don't think, at all. So if I go into the material graph for the lid, I believe. Why is it so big? Good lord. Okay. Photoshop, here we are. Then the assets. I think T-top final. So the first one we're opening. So look, it came to me with the pink on the outside, and she said, well, we don't have that pink. Well, okay. So I'm not sure how I was supposed to guess that, but it's whatevs. So I'll just delete it with select color range. Right. And I will use the marquee tool MM to get a circle one, and then hold Alt, click from the center. And we will deselect that by holding Shift, right? And then I can hit delete, deselect. That should be good, but then I just need to fill in the top and bottom, I think. I deleted like half of an alpha pixel, I think, over here, which is kind of weird. Not a huge fan of that. Might manually delete that marquee tool. Goodbye. Weird, it did it again. Weird. Why is it like that? I don't love that. Kind of feathering it. Anyway. I'm overthinking it a little bit because it probably won't be visible at that level, but what the hell? Why can't I just have a clean edge, Photoshop? What's your probs? Anyway, we will now take that. Bring it up. No. Why are you doing this to me? Yeah, what? So confused. I don't really love the way it's dealing with that, so we'll just use a pencil, I guess. Yeah, that was a pencil. Bring it down. Weird. It's like snapping to pixel wouldn't let me get up in there. Foreground color. Yeah, it's so weird. So filling it with the same color appears to be my solution, and I'm just going to do that again here. Everything requires a little bit of engineering to get right. Even this one's still a little messy, so yeah. Grab that. No. Do that thing. Boom, boom. And make this dark as well. Okay. So the problem that I was having is that the bump was really, really low res because of the way that I soloed it out by selecting this. So I'm going to bring in what else I was given. Vona tamper seal right here. I'm going to bring in without this part. Okay. Okay. I'm going to bring it in as a smart object. Because it will scale. No. Not around here. We gotta do some work on this baby. Somebody said something, Maya. Apparently my daughters are holding hands and walking around the apartment together right now, which is amazing. There we go. That should make it easier for everybody. So the problem that I'm having here is that this is not scooping over quite as nice as I thought it might. This has a shape layer. Yeah, that's still not working. Try that again. Why though? It's giving me so much trouble, all of these steps. Object, expand. Anyway, so it's not expanding as nicely as I'd like. I mean, I can just export it like this, file. Export. Save for web, sure. Transparent. And the artboard is what I need, Shift O. Okay. Is there a background? File, export, save for web. Say 400, even bigger. 1000. Let's do 80. Okay, transparent. Of course. Lol. And just delete that, I guess. No, I'll take care of it now. Uh, what's on here? Come on. There we go. Jeez, man. Okay, all that stuff together now. Clip group. Why is it like this? I have like... I gotta do this. There we go, I think. Why does it always take so much effort to get that? Okay. Now I can bring it back. Now I can save it. I can probably even bring it in now. Control C. And in here, Control V. Shape layer. Nope. Why does it do that? Weird. Control C. Control V. Smart object. It's a different logo. Okay, so a couple things. I didn't notice that because I wasn't looking at it the same. Delete. No. Delete that part. Okay. Seems like pretty bold. Yeah, whatever. What? Yeah, no, it seems like really bold. More bold than whatever font they ended up using in the final. Poopy. It's like, do I do like a white stroke around them? They're pretty bold, dudes. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to stick with the fact that they're bold and deal with it. Nah. Yeah, no, I'm really annoyed right now. Jeez. We'll see. Control V. Smart object. It's like pretty much right. I can just like make it like a little bigger. This can go out a little bit more. I guess that's it. Why is there something to rasterize? That's what's driving me insane. Is it this thing? Expand. File. Let's just save this because I've been doing this work. So this is Vona tamper seal. Enter. Okay. And over here, I can just bring that tamper seal center right in here. Excuse me. Ate tacos earlier. So good. Nice guess. It's like still very pixelated. I'm not happy about how pixelated it is, and this is what I'm trying to fix. The obvious problem is that the resolution of the entire thing is too small, which is 100%. Yeah. The whole label as I'm dealing with it is really, really low res to start with. So if I want that to be bigger, I just need to make it bigger. So let's do it. Image size. No percent. There we go. Percentage. 200. Just double it. Oop. I need more resolution. Okay, in that case, you know, I can see it still holds up. It's not going to hold up again unless I go even bigger. So let's do it. Image size. 200% again. Now you can actually zoom up on it and it'll still look aight. You would have to get real close for it to not be good. Now let's bring this back in there. And I am going to recreate this by creating some new stuff. So we're going to create a new layer. We're going to have to create a new strip. A new strip. Sorry. That's good. Should be wearing my glasses, but I don't know where they are right now. We will put in the foreground color right there. And then I will do the same with a cycle. Do that right here. Okay. Do it again. Deselect. Old one can go away. Now we'll give this color overlay. It says, well, what color? What color should I be? Oof. Don't love how bright that is or how announced it is. Darker. Like a shade darker. More saturation. That's white. But it's like I don't love it. Try to trim this little doodad here that I went too far with. Delete. Okay, I did it. Made a way, way higher res version of the same thing. So it's 4 times the size. And that was just so we could deal with the aliasing. Save as. File, export as PNG. We will make it the T-top final high res. Okay. And then now that we did that, you can just get rid of background. Right? And now we can get rid of the effects. And now we know that this one can be applied atop with just the foil. And I might as well make it white overlay. Okay. Then say file as PNG. And we said that that was the T-top foil. Save. No. T-top foil. RS. Okay. And then the paper itself, I'm actually gonna give a little bit of a texture to as well. Thank you for asking what I'm making. We are working on some CBD tea, which is going to be exclusive to the band Sigur Rós from Iceland. And I'm preparing the product render here. Illustrator's amazing. Mike, if you're still watching, yeah, it's like one of those softwares that's extremely versatile. Almost every single, not almost every single mechanical device uses the concept of what a vector is in order to trace something. So it's kind of coordinates in 2D space. And there's just so much you can do with just the information of coordinates in 2D space. It's not just, for illustrating, which is kind of funny because all these softwares that we use, Photoshop, Illustrator, they seem to almost insist what they're for, and there's a lot more to these softwares in terms of interoperability and using for one step within a pipeline. So very often, no matter what project it is, I find myself diving into either Illustrator or Photoshop just to do some type of utilitarian step. And what I'm doing here is I'm being provided these images, and okay, it's great that they have everything that I need, but there's a lot of additional steps that I need to take. And in the case of the files I gave, they are Illustrator files already, which is awesome for me. But if they're not already Illustrator files, in a lot of cases, I actually need to turn them into Illustrator files so I can get around those kind of pixelation issues. Because as you know, when you scale things up in Photoshop, it tends to add pixelation as you increase the size. And when you use vector stuff, it doesn't. So I'll trace stuff and or use the conversion tools or some of the other workarounds that we've got in order to get super high res assets where there otherwise are not. And you need to do a lot of kind of engineering and artistic license in there to fill in the gaps for your own intuition, which is what AI is doing, quote unquote, on a trained model. And hopefully those trained models will get a lot better and can help do some of this work, because I'd love the ability to turn anything into like a really precise vector just with AI training. I'm sure they're working on it right now. Adobe Sensei is pretty much training all that stuff, I'm pretty sure, in the background. Because Photoshop has some neural filters, and it's pretty cool. Oh, wow. Somebody rated me. That's super tight. Thank you so much, dude. Phosphor Visual. Awesome, homie. That's amazing. Thank you. What's up, everybody? Thank you for coming and joining. We're inside a Keyshot. We're looking at a bunch of products that are coming out for the band Sigur Rós. We've got tinctures and teas, and I'm currently finalizing the materials. This software that I'm using is incredibly good at photorealistic materials. I'm doing awesome, man. It's great to hear from you. Great to catch up with a friend on the internet. Haven't really spoken to too many people. But yeah, man, Sigur Rós, this is going to be super tight when this comes out. But the materials in this program are like really photorealistic. As you can see, I kind of have this like holographic foil effect on the Dream Tea. And then I've got silver foil on the chamomile tea. Or I'm sorry, there's gold foil on the chamomile tea. It's hard to tell from that angle. And then the Earl Grey has a silver. And then the top here, we've got this pink foil, and I've just hopped into Illustrator to alter the file, because we're not really going to zoom in that much on this part, but when I do begin to zoom in, it's all pixelated, because it was like a 200 pixel wide image initially, and it's fine for any distance shot. Like, I mean, I don't even think we'll get closer than this, but like if I wanted to have a hero animation where it starts off really close to this, I just don't feel confident about I don't feel confident about having it even at this distance. I mean, is it okay? Do I need 4 times the resolution? Maybe not, but I went and up-resed it quite a lot. Yeah, see, it's still pixely. Like you can see aliasing right there. I know you probably can't on the stream, but you know, the company that I run, 7 Studios, doesn't put out crap work, so I really can't let that pass, unfortunately. So I do have to do additional work. So what we're doing here is we're going to go into the material graph for the lid, and I've got to replace some of these images here. The T-top final. I also need to change that one. Gonna step back. Way back, way back. But so this is the original one, and it's just mad small, but they also were like, hey, we don't have any of those. Oh, hey, what up? Somebody did something on the stream. Following. Thanks, Chumpslick. Appreciate that, dude. Let's see. But yeah, they told me all this stuff isn't supposed to be in it, so I got to delete it. I already did on the other one, so I'm just going to swap it out. Oop, oop. Here we are gonna swap it out for the top. Final high res. Probably gonna come in at that much bigger. 1574. 1574. Did it work? Did it work? It did. But the top. T-top foil. Yeah. T-top foil. It's gotta come in high res. It's going into the metal, but it shouldn't be the color. It should be the opacity. Disable it. Remove it. All right. So it's working. Got in there. It's working and jerking and all that. So I don't think it's placed well enough, number one. And then the color is supposed to be this lovely pink. Can I don't know. Oh, there it is. Okay, so the placement of that texture. Translate. Boop. Cool. So we're all right when it comes to that stuff. And yeah, nice, smooth, metallic foil look to it. So that works. And hopefully, hypothetically, that should populate across all of them. It does, it does. So that means I can now save what I have here. And there's a couple more steps that I got to do. I got to do the same replacement for the labels on each to get rid of the pink lines on either side of that. And then what else I got to do? I want to improve the foil to have a little bit, I think I need to like mix it with another material that's also chrome kind of set up, silver, because the material that I'm emulating, it's like a hollow foil, and obviously this effect is really cool, but it's not 100%, because it's like all saturated with color with no chrome in there, and it's kind of got to be more metallic with like a thin film that happens as well. I think there's actually more bands of color that happen. Thank you, dude. There's more bands of color that happen per pass. Like right now, there's only two colors that are visible at any given point, as far as I can tell. And I want to kind of compress that and make it so there's like maybe more colors visible at once, but also like a metallic color as well. But it's convincing, and if you view it from the right angle, it totally does get like a whole bunch of them. Another thing that I put in there is a control to be able to kind of like, oh, the bump is too much. Yeah, I gotta get that bump out of there. Material graph. So I build these materials up by hand. It's not that hard. It looks like it's a whole bunch of shit going on, but it's really actually not. That's what's fun about nodes. And as I was mentioning earlier in the stream, I pretty much want to put together a school for this stuff. And all the curriculum that I've been creating to do like kind of masterclass tutorials, like I gotta find the time to effing film it. But I'm like, man, why don't I just hold like a class with a bunch of people that want to drop like 10K a piece and just have like a few months of just crash course, complete run through of everything, get you caught up on everything. You could go from, you know, even if you have no knowledge in 3D, I could get you up and running and be a viable, you know, person in the workplace pretty easily. And one of those things is nodes. You got to know how to use them, and once you use it in one program, it just makes sense in every other program that has them. So I feel like it's an important fundamental thing to teach and learn. So teach your kids. I'm gonna teach mine. That's the whole thing, is like, maybe if y'all don't want to learn from me, that's cool. My kids are gonna learn, and they're gonna be badass. They're gonna have a whole lot of fun stuff going on, because it's actually pretty elementary the way that the nodes work. But if you understand the way that they work, you can make anything you can think of. You can make anything other people think of, and you can start to randomly mash them together and get stuff that no one's ever seen before, just by playing. It's like Legos, literally. It's code Legos. So check that shit out. Nodes. Touch Designer is free, go get it. Blender is free, go get it. They got nodes for days. This is not free. This program is absolutely not free. $2,000. Well worth it though. So what I was doing here is going into my holographic foil and into the bump height, and bring that down to Seto. Should I do 0? It's like 0.1. It just seems like overkill to have like an actual bump. I just like, that's the whole thing. I wish I had the finished labels in hand. You can see I have like a paper texture on the paper. But you know, do I need there to be raised or not? Not a lot, but a little's cool. So yeah, I'm just nitpicking, but if we go for like a nice long pass by one of these things, I don't want to have it appear a way that doesn't look as good as I need it to. So here's the same problem. What I really need to do is I need to go into the file that I'm using to do this, and I need to reprocess the whole thing to get around that. I need to pretty much bring in a vector from the vector file and overlay it in the exact same spot. Now they have that label sent to me already, and I'm pretty sure that I can just like copy and paste the entire thing in there and just solo out the parts that I need to be each different part, which I think that the bump is backwards on this gold one right now. Let's go into material graph, go into the label and the bump height. I mean, it's like I don't even need any bump at all. I have bump on there because it's like cool, but I'm pretty sure that it's flush. Now, if it is 0.1, like cuts in, right? It's like that's like a pressed indentation, whereas negative 0.1 would be raised or vice versa. So just flush. I really tried it flush because I got all excited about the bump, but I feel like it's probably more accurate to the actual product. I have a little bit of a bump on the text. Give it a kind of a, it's like almost beveled when you do that, pretty much. Like the text has a little bit of a bevel. And then last one, we will check out the, oh, hello, bottles. Oh yeah, man. People pay good money for the work. You really got to get it right, especially when like, I'm sitting in here working at it at these levels that, most people are never going to view it this close for any reason. But if like right here on this bottle, if I can really bump up the textures that we're using and like, 4x them, which is pretty much what the goal is, you can have these really, really crazy shots and moves. It's really, worth it. But if you're not requiring to go in that close, there's really no need for it. I mean, this is like probably the closest it'll ever be. So I don't need to go 4x this label here. I did do that with the top because just showing it off, I kept having problems trying to show off the foil and have it look, really nice and not pixelated. So now we're there with that part. And even when I show the detail shots of this, I don't feel too bad about it. If I go in to about here, I think we lose it. Any closer than that. So there's a little bit of a paper texture on the foil. It's a little pronounced right now. Yeah, I should turn that down. My bump is here. Bump 1 and bump 2. And I think bump 2 is what we're working with. Right? Yeah. It's a little bit of it, not a lot. Whoa, guy. A little more. 0.5. Just so like it catches some glints and you see that it is a texture and not no texture. That's pretty much like where my goal's been at lately with trying to decide of when to stop. Like when am I going like too in depth with this? So like I have this bottle here in front of me. Here it is. And so I'll look at it really, really close and move it around and see if I can get different effects and things like that. And you can't get as close as I'm getting with these with your eye. You can get like pretty close, but it goes blurry really quick. You can probably get like I don't know what to describe it as. That 50 millimeter eyeball distance. It's like right here. So yeah. A little late today on these materials. They're looking good. All right, I can send that shot over because that feels convincing to me. And then I'm just going to ask them about backgrounds. Okay, this is going to be pink oil 5. Gonna save what we got. Yeah, and I think, removing the majority of the bump from those is useful. And yeah, like I said, I really want to make this happen with the hollow foil, figuring out how to make it better. I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up worse. Right? It's like maybe if I double this is like basically what I was thinking, because I don't know how to stop. I don't know how. Can I duplicate this? No. Duplicate it this way? No. Can I duplicate it that way? Can I right click on it and duplicate it? Alt Shift, Control Alt, Control Shift. Damn it. Like I have repeat on. That's all well and good. And when I had blend on, it was blending too hard. Let's see. Then I've got a hue adjustment in the middle here somewhere. Right? There it is. That means I can change what color it shows up as depending on where I'm viewing it. If I remove saturation, it's like, is that what I'm supposed to do? About contrast. Yeah, I think that, there we go. Like, I pretty much need to have less saturation because the holographic part is fine, but it can't be like overly saturated or else it doesn't look silvery anymore. So I need to like further desaturate it. It's like 0.2 and 0.3. Yeah, cool. I just want to compress them more. But yeah, okay, whatever. It looks good. We're working with it. Boom. Save as. And that is going to be hollow foil 5. I got to shoot out an email right quick. Choreograph. Iris. Self. So that label's all fixed up. Now I just need to hop over into the other ones right quick and resolve the same thing. We're going into here, going in here, going in here. Okay. Pop out of there. Go in here. Material graph. Going in here. Going in here. Going into here. Cool. So I'll close out of that. The only thing I haven't done is add any paper texture to the black, which, I mean, that's pretty much the very final. If I was to add something, I know of a couple things I'd like to improve on this scene, but we kind of don't have time. It's time to get animating. So I'm going to save what I have now. Yeah, like kind of like I just want to show off the hollow foil real nice, keep it sexy, you know. Sexy. And that can be the pink foil. Yeah. I guess just a small additional piece of geometry would be all that would be required to um, cover that little gap there, because that concerned the client, that it does this little whoop right there. And I mean, I'm not jazzed about it either. It's not like my favorite thing. It's a tamper seal. And so what I would have to do is make it stop at a certain point. I have to make it stop mapping. And I can make it go as far as the edge of that. And then have a piece that I like the way that that one goes down. But yeah, it would need to go over this, just this little hump right here. Just a small additional piece of geometry. I think that I could probably do it in... Can I do it in here? Models. Geometry. No. If I bring in something that works, it might be just enough. I want to do this. There's still a couple limitations for it. I have to make it stop so it doesn't go over that part. So by either trimming the texture back until it no longer intersects with that. I mean, I wish there was a way I could just mask it. I'll have to look into that to see if I could maybe just place a mask. But that's super hard. Because this is two separate shapes. And I've got the lid as one shape. Lid's one shape, base is a different shape, and the labels that are applied are basically like Photoshop layers on top of one another. So I would have to probably move this one down so it doesn't go in. I mean, maybe that'll cover it if I just do the thing. It's weird. Why's it gotta be like this? So maybe I'll try opening. model it. So the idea that I have, and this is kind of experimental. I don't really have a lot of time to be experimental, but I want to get this right. I feel like this is something that if I know it's there and the client mentioned that it's there, like I just can't justify leaving it. Pretty good. So this 22, let's see what 22 does. No. Negative 22. Okay. Rotate it. I think that's right about on the correct plane for me. I know there's a transfer as well, which I have this one here. Transfer object. Yeah, like that. Play with lines. And now I'm just gonna basically block this in. I was playing around a second ago. I wasn't really talking as I was doing it, but I'm gonna block this baby in here. Get over here. I'm gonna use super minimal geometry, make it really super simple, and then use subdivision surface to fix it up. So I've never really done this technique. I watch a hell of a lot of tutorials, so I know what I'm doing when it comes to that. When it comes down to it, and I got to use the skills, I am all studied up. So that geo is going to get adjusted anyway. Oop. So this stuff think I can cheat the deformer, the correction deformer on a plane. Go into that. All right, get out of here. What are you doing? Hi, babe. I got a kid coming. Tuck. What's up, honey? What? You're gonna bug me, you said? You can come and hang out. Oh my gosh, you have your cool leotard on. You look awesome.
Your stickers. Our stickers.
Oh, what?
Yeah, your stickers.
You like those? They look really cool on you.
Do you have one more?
One more what?
Like
Oh, you think you can get candy from Daddy, do you? What?
I do want.
But I don't even have candy in here.
But you have candy downstairs.
How about one conversation heart?
Yeah.
That's all though. Is the trouble of having kids. Oh, am I pretty? Well, why don't you? But that was still nice. I know, but one was good for now, right? Was it better than none? What if I gave you none? Would you have been sad?
Yeah.
Exactly. So you're not sad now. You have one. Okay. So my trouble here, my love, is that, well, that spline needs to get out of here. I want to move this out, but I just don't want to do it all willy-nilly.
Why?
Well, because willy-nilly isn't the way I want to do it, Maya Rose.
Oh.
So it's like that should be enough, hypothetically. And if I go into my plane and I put a subdivision surface above it, how do I keep it from doing the edges? By linear? Loop? Boundary interpolation, edge and corner. Uniform edge crease. Linear boundaries. Subdivisions. Dang it. It's like, that might be enough. No. Is it enough? It might be enough. Very, very nice. Oh, I love your song.
Is
that enough? It's too much.
It's called.
Is that what it's called, Maya? Oh, thank you. So instead, I'm gonna loft A. Instead of doing it that way, let's just keep that there as a construction plane. We will remove the correction deformer. Was this what you were singing at school while the teacher was trying to talk?
Yeah.
Do not do that next time, okay? Don't sing like that when your teacher's trying to talk, because it's seriously... It's...
Wait.
Yeah, Maya,
away.
Come again another day. Yeah, we all know that song, but you're not supposed to sing it when the teacher is teaching you.
Rain, go away, come back another day.
Guess what?
Rain, go away, come back another day.
Myra,
Rain,
I love your song, but you have to understand that when you're singing it, that other people do not want to hear you singing your song, okay? It's actually super annoying. You know what it's like when Odie cries over and over? You know how that feels inside where you want her to stop crying? It's kind of like the same feeling when someone's just singing over and over and over. You're like, can you please stop singing? So even though it feels fun to you, other people, especially your teachers, don't want to hear you singing like that.
oh.
Yeah, oh. So please do not torture your teachers and classmates. Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, you're torturing them when you do that. I know it's fun. Oh, having a child. So the intention is now to bring in a little shape. I'll just do it from the spline pen. I go from the top, right? No, I'll do it from the right. Let's just do it right here or whatever. We snap, round snap. Say 3D snapping, spline, polygon. Right, so we want to go this. It's like trying to think of how the curve is put together. Like a little bit like that, and then like that, and then that again. That's probably a pre-made curve somewhere in Cinema. Probably do it from one of these cissoids, maybe. See, lemniscate, cissoid, strofoid. Two. No. Okay, so not one of those. I guess it would be a formula, kind of, that I just made. So what I think I want to do with this is use it to loft along something, because now we have the shape that we need. So if we grab this is an extrude, right? And that's all we need, extrude the spline. And don't extrude it so far. Like kind of far. And if I turn off the edges now. Oop. Okay, that's the shape that we need. Now it just needs to be placed in the right spot. So boop goes to boop. Transfer to plane. Apply. What? Fuck is it doing all the way up there? Doesn't scale. So annoyed. Let's move it down here. Snap off. Okay. 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 Why? Just gonna say, gonna add a recall tag. I'm gonna store it. And I'm gonna make it this biatch editable. And then ESR0. Okay. I'll move. Why it was so far away from itself. The axis was nowhere near where it needed to be, and now we are much better off than we were. Now I can get out of that mode. I can rotate this sucker like that. Whatever. Like doing it like super manual, and there's like probably a million ways to do this, and maybe somebody watching the stream is like, why are you doing it that way? But as long as you get it done, and I want it to look really nice. I do. Ooh. So that's about good, right? And now I'm gonna turn on the other stuff. I'm gonna get rid of this plane that I don't need. And then I'm gonna put this thing in place by bringing it down, down, down. Yeah. But now we're gonna probably want to move that L inside, so it's kind of touching base. Now we're gonna scale it down, move it up, scale it down. I'd put it like just above it like that, kind of. But I'm gonna have to like finalize it in Keyshot. So I'm gonna like export just this shape, bring just this shape into Keyshot, and then apply a the same texture to it that is on the other stuff, and hopefully it'll all line up. Hopefully Keyshot will allow me to scale it to suit and then copy it over to the other ones. It's like pretty good, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Cutting through, it should cut through a little bit. I should make it so it cuts through a little bit. Get me inside there. Damn it. That ain't never gonna work. Huh. Well, part of it is this thing needs to come up here. Get sized up. Oh yeah, exactly. Where I learned it. Learned the techniques back in the old days on Mars. Me and the Marines. No, it was actually just me. It's still not lined up very well, I can tell, because when I move it through, one side goes first. I gotta fix that. Better. A little bit. That means that I can move it. I like to move it. I like to move it. Telling me to move. Okay, so I don't know if that's thick enough for the bidness, but probably, maybe I should make it a little thicker. I'll figure it out once I get it in. I feel like it'll probably be easier to place these now in Cinema. No, I'll do it once and texture it once and then duplicate that and add them in. So let's file save as. And this is the 10. Oh, I got it. Okay then. As long as my kid's not hurt, we're good. She did not get hurt. So, let's see. We're going to save this as insurance 10 label geo. Okay. And now this is in its place, and I will say file, export, dx, selection, find, global coordinates. I triangulate it, probably. Normals. Big materials, there are no materials, so who cares? We'll try this one. This is just going to be 10 label geo. And then let's bring it in over here. position. Well, what do you know? We got some label geo. I don't know why it brought it in where it did, but it could be worse. Hello, hello? You okay, honey? Come and say hi? What's up? How are you? You okay, hon? Did you get hurt?
Yeah.
Where did you get hurt?
I fought
You falled?
on the chair.
Oh, that's not fun. I'm sorry that you falled. Fell. You mean fell, right? See what Daddy's doing?
Do you have gummies up here?
Ha! You wish. I don't. I'm sorry, honey. I know that would be nice, wouldn't it? Oh, what a hard life. Do you have gummies up here? Wish I had gummies up here. Kind of a bummer right now, so let's do -1. Yeah, like, gotta cut in just a little bit. And then my rotation, kind of based on a messed up thing here. So if I can scale it in the X, I hear some crying going on. That ain't good. Yeah, this thing's all messed up right now. Why? So even my scale weird. Reset. I muted myself because my kid was screaming a little bit earlier. But anyway, I'm going to take a break for a little bit and go check out dinner time for the girls, get them all set up with that, maybe do some bath time. But I asked my client if they want me to do this in 1080, if they want me to do it in square format, if they want to do it vertical 1080. Some things perform better on social media, and I was just describing while being muted that when you have a horizontal video, it looks great on a television or a computer monitor, but almost everybody's browsing from their phone. And when you force people to view a horizontal video on their phone and they have to turn it to the side, not only does sometimes, like my phone screws up sometimes and won't let me, the screen won't flip. So you're like, what the hell? And you're forced to just watch this whole thing. But the tall ones, just everything feels and looks bigger and it's more in your face and everything. So just as a general marketing thing, as I'm thinking through it and talking through it, I believe a vertical video is probably going to be the way to go production wise for this stuff. So we'll see what they say. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been really great. I'm going to go live a little bit later tonight and keep crunching through and finalize the pathway animations for good. It's going to happen. I swear, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to beat that sleep. I'm not going to go to sleep. I'm not going to let that baby, I'm going to beat that baby. Not really. Just going to not fall asleep when I have to spend an hour trying to get her to go down. So wish me luck, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. Mike Flex, always ready to party.